Hey, what's up, everybody? Today I'm going to go through some examples on this beginning of Algebra 1, just solving equations by adding or subtracting. And one thing that we're going to need to do is know inverse operations. And so if we add, the inverse of it, the inverse of it is subtracting. And obviously, if we're subtracting, I'm just going to abbreviate it because I don't feel like writing, the inverse is adding. So when we're solving equations, like if we're given an equation, x minus 10 equals 4, our goal is to get our variable right here by itself, so we can say that we've solved it. And so we do the inverse of what is on that same side. So here we have x minus 10. In the inverse of minus 10, which is subtracting, is adding. So we're going to get rid of it by adding it. But what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So we add 10 to the other side. And what I mean by sides is the equal sign. So let's do that. Negative 10 plus 10 is 0, so it goes away. So we just have this x on one side. And then the equal sign comes down, and then we have 4 plus 10, which is 14. So x equals 14. And all that says is that if we plug 14 in for x, we should get 4. So let's just, you can always check your answer. So let's plug 14 in for x for that problem. So it would be 14 minus 10, which is 4. And it says, in the original equation, which was x minus 10 equals 4, it says we would get 4. So we were right. Let's go on and try another one. So let's say that we got, and they can use any variable. So let's say they got y minus, well, let's just do plus 3 equals 8. So again, our goal is to get this variable right here by itself so we can solve the equation. We're just trying to figure out what value of y, any number that we can plug into y, to make this whole equation true. So to do that, we do the opposite. So it's y plus 3. So we need to subtract 3 to both sides. And we get y. Because this plus 3 and minus 3 cancel out, so y is by itself. We bring down the equal sign. And then 8 minus 3 is 5. So again, all this says is that if we plug in 5 for y, this whole statement will be true. And let's test it. 5 plus 3 is 8. And what did it say? It said that we should have gotten 8, so it is true. They'll also do, you'll just run into, in your assignments, you'll run into fractions as well, decimals. Just one thing to remember. So we got 2/5 equals m minus 1/5. So we got m minus 1/5 here. So the opposite is adding. So we will add 1/5 to both sides. So 2/5 plus 1/5 is 3/5. Negative 1/5 and positive 1/5 cancel out. So we're left with equals m. And that is our answer, and you can check it. And once you get good at this, you don't have to check it. But for right now, while you're practicing, it's good to check. So we're going to plug in 3/5 for m. So there's where m was. And then we're going to do minus 1/5. That equals 2/5. And what should we have gotten? 2/5. So we are good. That pretty much covers most of what you need to know just about getting variables by themselves. Just Just keep in mind what your overall goal is in all of these is to figure out the value of the variable that we can plug in to make the statement true. And this is just the beginning of steps, or the beginning of the process. And as we advance further, you'll see the usefulness of these tools. So thank you for tuning in, and check back. I'll have plenty more videos to come.